Loki, ladies and gentlemen, the man of mischief. Episode 2, Breaking Brad. And it's your boy Icon with another Marvel review for you, going over episode 2 of Loki. So now, in this particular episode, before we get started, don't forget to hit the like button, like, share, and or subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we are climbing. And I'm thankful to everyone that helped me get there, because I believe we're over the 400 mark for subscriptions. We're making that push to 500, and once we get to 500, it's to infinity and beyond. Also, check out my other reviews. We got a lot of stuff on the channel that I know you'll enjoy. I was at New York Comic Con this past weekend. I am mentally and physically exhausted, but I got those videos coming up because I got a lot of good footage from New York Comic Con, so please check that out as well. And my other videos like Doom Patrol and Archer, because we're going to get more episodes of Archer to get a proper series finale for them as well. So now, talking about that little Loki. In this particular episode, well, in the last episode, we found that Sylvie, she was, she wound up in McDonald's. And apparently in McDonald's, that was her timeline. They said that was the branch that she came from. And I guess because she got pulled from her branch, she wanted to learn about her branch. She wanted to be a part of her branch and get the life that she so sorely missed. It actually starts with Mobius and Loki. They came out of one of the time portal thingies, and they ended up in a particular, I guess they were on a particular thread. I don't know if they were in the past, they were in the present, but they were in a particular place that wasn't the place where they came from. They're looking for Sylvie. They couldn't find her, but Mobius wanted to go there because he wanted to find one particular person whose name was Brad. Brad used to be a TVA agent. He was one of the variants who had his life stolen from him, and when Mobius found him, the guy tried to run from Mobius, like him and Loki tracked him down, and then when him and Loki tracked him down, they brought him back to the TVA for questioning. When they brought him to the TVA for questioning, basically what we found out was that this guy, he was one of the people where that Irish woman that was just like, oh, this changes nothing. Like she walked up to him and then she was like, oh, carry out the plan, we'll take care of Sylvie once and for all. And then he was one of the people that did that, but he actually ended up quitting his mission. He didn't actually go through with his mission. Because when he found out that he was a variant and he actually had a life, he wanted to live that life, and he said to hell with whatever they were doing. So they had to interrogate him, and the interrogation wasn't working because since he's a TVA person, he knows all the TVA tricks. And then, Loki, he's not a TVA person, so they came up with this elaborate scheme where they put one of those machines that creates like those force field boxes, and they put the guy in the box, and they kept shrinking the box, and then he was just like, oh, you can't kill me, because you're a TVA agent, and Loki was like, I'm not a TVA agent. He's like, I can do what I please. And because earlier, when Loki was trying to get the information out of him, Brad actually tried to call him a bitch, and he was just like, bro, he was like, as a good guy, you suck. He was like, you have no actual talent, you make everything worse, you're the reason why everything's gone to shit, and if it wasn't for you, we'd all actually be nice and we'd be happy. He said, and he actually said these words, he said, you're better off, he said, stop trying to be a good guy, bro, you're better off being a villain. And then Loki was like, well, you're right, maybe I am better at doing mischievous things. And then he tried to intimidate the guy, which kind of didn't work. But then later on, when he came in with the machine and trapped the guy in the force bubble, that's when the guy was just like, okay, I'll tell you the information. And then he ended up telling him, which was a plan, based on like with him and Mobius. So he ends up taking the two of them to where Sylvie is. He takes them to her branch, and they find her in McDonald's, and she actually works there now, and she's slinging fries. Maybe next she'll be on the grill, and then that's when the big bucks start rolling in. So now, once they do that, Loki walks up to Sylvie. He's like, can I talk to you? And then they go out back, and then she's like, I have a life here. She's like, I want to go back with you no matter what. And then he was just like, oh, everything's coming to an end. He who must not be... It's almost like they're trying to call Kang Voldemort at this point. He was just like, oh, he who must not be named. He's like, he's on his way. He's like, I need your help. And she's like, screw the TVA. She's like, I'll give you nothing. And then that's when Brad basically told Mobius that everything that's happening is a trick, because that Irish lady, she planted bombs on every single branch, every single new branch that was growing, because she's still like, she's not accepting the fact that she's a variant and that her life got taken. She's still holding on to the old rules of the TVA, and then she's like, we must prune all the branches no matter what. So she's actually trying to prune all these branches, but she's going to blow them up. She's going to kill thousands of people. She's going to kill every single branch, including the branch that Sylvie's on. And I guess also because she couldn't find Sylvie, she was like, fuck it, I'll just blow every branch up and we'll end up getting her eventually. So they plant all the bombs. When Sylvie finds that out, they end up, going to where, the Irish lady was, or where her operation was. And you see all the TVA agents going through these portals, going to the different branches. The black lady who works for the TVA still, she was at the main command center, and she actually saw the bombs going off and all the branches being destroyed. So this big fight happens because now they're trying to stop her from destroying the branches. They destroyed the majority of them, but not all of them. They ended up, knocking out the Irish lady. They took her to prison. So so she's locked up now. But then there was a lot of damage done because she managed to destroy, not Prude, she managed to destroy a whole bunch of branches where a whole bunch of people live, and she killed thousands of lives, like millions and billions of lives all across the multiverse. So that made everybody sad. And then Sylvie got upset because she was like, is this what the TVA does? She was like, no, you lot are the worst. She was like, we're gonna die if we put our faith in your hands. And my whole thing is, it's not right for you to get mad at them for not being able to save all those branches when you were the one being difficult when he asked for help. Like, I thought that was kind of weird. But, but anyway, so then she's just like, I'm going back to my branch if it's still there. And then she goes back to her branch. And then, like Loki ends up consoling Mobius because the whole TVA, the people who still believe in the cause, they were upset because, again, like billions of lives were lost and they couldn't save them. And there's a bigger threat out there because, Kang is still like hovering over everyone's head. So they're trying to figure out what to do about that and what their next particular steps are. I don't know where we go from here because the whole point of the show was trying to find Sylvie. We found Sylvie. So like, I don't know what's going to happen now. So anyway, and then it goes back to Sylvie, and then she's sitting back in front of her McDonald's, and then she's talking to some kid, and then she ended up pulling out a device. And the device that she had, it was the same device that she had in her hand, which I believe created the portal that she kicked Loki through. So I guess now she can create portals. So she's going after somebody. I'm like, who's she going after? But I mean, she has to be going after Kang, because I'm like, there's nobody else for her to go after. Or she's going to use that portal machine to go into the chamber where the Irish lady is and slit her throat. But I guess we'll see in the next episode. And then also Jackie Chan's son came back, and he was saying something about the blast doors not being able to be open, and they can't get the doors open. The only way they can get the doors open is if he who is the beginning and the end, like if he uses his facial recognition to open the doors. I'm like, are y'all talking about Kang at this point? And I'm like, what doors are we trying to break through? That part was a little confusing for me. Maybe I gotta watch it a couple of times, but that was pretty much how the episode ended, and thank you for tuning in. So this particular one, this episode, it was better than last week's. Like, it had a little bit more oomph to it. Like, it feels like there are some stakes now. It feels like some things are coming. Like, there's actually going to be, like, some legitimate, like, crises, things happening. But I don't see who, like, because the thing is, with the Irish lady trying to blow up all the branches or whatever, that seems like something that could have got dragged on throughout the season, where you find out, like, she's, like, the big bad villain. They did find Kerry Washington's little sister, because she was gone. I don't know. I forgot what happened to her, because, like, I still got to go back, because I don't remember what happened to this chick. I remember she was in a room talking to somebody, and then she disappeared. But I guess they found her. So I guess when we go back and find her character is going to be living a new life as well. I don't know why they're going to go to her to break her out, unless she's the person who can open the doors. I don't know. But share your questions, comments, and concerns down below, and we'll continue to talk about it. Like I said, check out my other reviews. Check me out on social media, always on YouTube, where you can leave your question, comments, and concerns, because I got some great stuff coming up in the pipeline. I got a lot of videos coming up in the next 3-4 days or so, but Doom Patrol is back. I'm happy Doom Patrol is back, and I'll be very excited to review that when we put those videos out as well. So that was it, everybody. So thank you for tuning in, as always, for episode 2 of Loki Until Infinity and Beyond. Take care. Please leave Brad alone, and we're out this bitch!